Recruitment is an art. One of the most common mistakes employers make are incorrectly arranged interviews. What HR methodology to use for interviews? I am using a hybrid method, which combines structured, behavioral, stress, situational, and panel interviews. The general rules are: break the ice. Applicant does 80% of talk and interviewer does 20% of talk, to be able to evaluate the applicant. Eye contact. Observe nonverbal behavior. Recommended interview questions. Did you do any research on your employer? What do you know about us? Why do you like us? Why do you want to work with us? How would you add value to your employer? If you have an opportunity, would you invest with us? Where did you add more value, more business to your business rather than just day-to-day role? What have you done to make your current job more rewarding? Mental arithmetic skills. What is the size of UAE market in AED/dollars/euros? What is the size of UAE population? What is average spending? The purpose of the questions is to evaluate the person guesstimates the market sizing that PE put him/her in. What are 2 to 3 things you want us to remember about you? Apart from the interview, I strongly recommend online assessments, such as technical tests, work samples, or business simulation, tasks to reflect specific business challenges to draw out key skills and capabilities critical to success. Structured interview. The interviewer has a standard set/sequence of questions that are asked of all candidates. This makes it easier for the interviewer to evaluate and compare candidates fairly. 1. Purposes of structured interview. The aim of this approach is to ensure that each interviewee is presented with exactly the same questions in the same order. This ensures that answers can be reliably aggregated and that comparisons can be made with confidence between sample subgroups or between different survey periods. 2. Advantages of structured interview. Provides insight into declarative knowledge used. Study of one concept can lead to the definition of other unknown related concepts. Maintains a focus on a given issue. Provides detailed information on the issue. Provides structural relationships of concepts. 3. Disadvantages of structured interview. Concepts unrelated to the interview's focus may not be found. You must be secure in your understanding of the important issues to direct the interview. Provides only weak insight into procedural knowledge such as rules or problem-solving strategies. Behavioral interview. In behavioral interviews, candidates are asked to explain their skills, experience, activities, etc., as examples of your past behavior. Purpose of behavioral interview. The purpose of this type of interview is to predict future based on past experiences. Sample behavioral interview questions. Describe the project or situation which best demonstrates your analytical abilities. What was your role? Give a specific example of a time when you had to address an angry customer. What was the problem and what was the outcome? Describe a situation in which you were able to effectively read another person and guide your actions by your understanding of their individual needs or values. Discuss an important decision you have made regarding a task or project at work. What factors influenced your decision? Have you ever been caught unaware by a problem or obstacles that you had not foreseen? What happened? Have you ever been in a situation where you had to settle an argument between 2 friends, or people you knew? What did you do? What was the result? Describe a situation in which you were able to use persuasion to successfully convince someone to see things your way. Stress interview. The stress interview is designed to find applicants who can handle stress and handle it well. 1. Why we use stress interview? For some position, job holder have to work under high pressure, so that employer need checking this ability of candidate. 2. How to conduct stress interview. The interviewer may try to stress candidates in one of several ways, such as disagreement, conflict, contradictions, argument, hostility, pressure, aggression and intimidation, criticism. Stress interview questions. Do you consider standing in a line as stressed work? Define stress and when do you get stressed out? Are you able to work under stress? Please give us an example about you work with a team that faced stress from your experience. Why do you think it will confuse stress? What is the worst thing when you faced with stress? How do you handle stress? What is the best thing or work you do when you are stressed out? Situational interview. A situational interview utilizes hypothetical events in the form of a question. Candidates are asked how they would react if they encountered that event. In situational interviewing, job seekers are asked to respond to a specific situation they may face on the job, and some aspects of it are similar to behavioral interviews. 1. Benefits of situational interview. This method will help employer check analytical skill, problem-solving skill, situation-solving skill. 2. Relationship of situational interview and behavioral interview. Situational interviews are similar to behavioral interviews, except while behavioral focus on a past experience, situational interviews focus on a hypothetical situation. For example, in a behavioral interview, the interviewer might ask a question with, "Tell me about a time you had to deal with." In a situational interview, the interviewer asks, "How would you solve?" Questions. If you know your boss is 100% wrong about something, how would you handle it? Describe a difficult work situation/project and how you overcame it. What problems have you encountered at work? Describe how you dealt with them. Describe a challenge or problem you faced. How did you handle it? Describe a time when your workload was heavy and how you handled it. Panel interview. A panel interview is a technique that allows several members of a hiring company to interview an interviewee at the same time. A panel interview includes a committee interview and one interviewee. 1. Who are members of interview team? Hiring manager, line managers, department heads, HR personnel, stakeholder representatives. 2. Conditions of panel interviews. 1. Interviewer should be the leader, and everyone else is in a support position. The panel should include no more than 3 or 4 people. All member of interview committee must ask question. 3. Advantages of panel interviews. You don't make instant judgments about the quality of an answer while the candidate is answering because others are asking for clarifying information. They're more objective since there is less personal interaction. It's hard to chit-chat during a panel interview. You have a chance to think more about the candidate's responses since you're not the only one asking questions. With a panel interview, you will also see more of the candidate's true personality, especially if most of the follow-up questions are about how accomplishments were achieved. It saves time. The assessment is more accurate and consistent. Since everyone is using the same information to make an assessment, consistency is achieved. It allows weaker interviewers to be involved. This is especially important if the weaker interviewer is the hiring manager. 4. Disadvantages of panel interviews. It is often time-consuming and difficult to get the panel together, and this delays the hiring process. It can be an expensive exercise. You may find it difficult to reach consensus on the hiring decision due to different views and approaches. A good recruiting program should attract qualified and discourage unqualified applicants. It should minimize the cost of recruitment process and consider external and internal factors, organization's image, attractiveness, and nature of the job, internal policies, government requirements, and recruiting budget. These factors can limit the attraction for applicants. The primary sources of recruitment are employees' referrals, recommendations, as internal search, advertisement, recruitment agencies, schools, colleges, and universities, professional organizations or exhibitions, events, unsolicited applicants, internet recruiting, as external search. Alternatives may be temporary workers, independent contractors, student internship. In the United Arab Emirates, selection process involves initial screening, application, employment test, interview, conditional job offers, background examination or legibility, medical and physical examination, and permanent job offer. Hiring good people is particularly challenging in engineering-based organizations because they require a unique brand of technical and professional people. Recruiters must carefully screen final candidates to ensure they fit well to organizational culture. The goal of recruiting is to give enough information about the job to attract qualified applicants and simultaneously discourage the unqualified from applying. Human resource planning is one of the most important elements because it is a process by which an organization ensures that it has the right number of candidates, capable effectively and efficiently complete the tasks that will help the organization to achieve its overall strategic objectives. Companies must determine what job need to be done, how many and what type of workers will be required. To ensure this, human resources managers must be engaged in employment planning. Employment planning is determined by organizations' business objectives, strategy, defining how the goals and objectives will be achieved, SWOT analysis, competitive intelligence, structure, defining what job need to be done and by whom, people matching skills, knowledge, and abilities to required jobs, year-by-year analysis for every significant job level and type, accurate estimates of future demands in both qualitative and quantitative terms. Successful employment planning is designed to identify companies' HR needs. Next step in staffing is recruiting. Recruiting is the process of discovering potential candidates for actual or anticipated organizational vacancies. Promoting with rewards companies' best performers sends a message to the rest of employees that the company both rewards good performance and repays loyalty. Recruiting from outside can bring new blood, new ideas, and excitement into an organization when it seems that energy is decreasing. At the top levels, recruiting from outside and sometimes from a completely different industry can energize an organization. One of the best sources for new candidates is recommendations from company employees, because employees recommend someone if they believe the individual can perform sufficiently. Also, managers can receive more accurate information about potential candidates. Job description is guidance for candidates in what they are expected to do, therefore, it should be accurately designed. Job analysis methods such as observation, individual interview, group interview, structured questionnaire, technical conference, and diary are used to determine job elements and develop an accurate job description. Nearly 4 out of 5 companies currently use the internet to recruit new employees by adding recruitment section to their website. The website has information about qualifications, experience required, benefits provided, but they also showcase the organization's products, services, corporate philosophy, and mission statement. The best designed websites include an online response form, and applicants don't need to send a separate CV by mail, email, or fax. There are more than 170 recruitment agencies based in the UAE, plus hundreds of agencies from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and the Philippines. Many of them may try to approach daily. It could be costly and time-consuming. Moreover, not all agencies are productive. Some of them may overload clients with dozens irrelevant or unmatched CV. The critical element in working relationship of a firm is quality of staffing help the firm receives. Reliance on a reputable and capable staffing company is an important management tool for any business entity. Check on recruitment agencies' credibility, services offered, and fees before signing mutual agreement. Before asking recruitment agencies for assistance in staffing, always consider if the agency specialized in knowing industry. Does the agency know the business of placing of the industry staff and does it have a track record of success? When list the skills wanted in an applicant, is the agency simply going for a keyword search on their database of applicants or it has personal understanding of the skill set seek? Recruitment agency should have direct experience in staffing for the required industry. Does the agency recruit and retain qualified and reliable workforce? Does the agency cite the internet as a source for recruitment? Does it have deep knowledge of the applicant? Does it send CV with the candidate's prior knowledge and approval? What steps the agency takes to pre-qualify the candidates before sending CV? Many candidates look good on paper, but the information may not be truthful and accurate. The agency should provide guarantees with the service. In addition to CV, it should provide other information on an applicant, such as references, test results, background test. This is immensely helpful in deciding for an interview. Recruitment agency should be able to fulfill the request quickly, without jeopardizing quality. The agency should assign a representative or an agent to a company account and make clearly what services will be performed after the contract is signed. It is helpful to have a manager or designated supervisor who handles problems that may arise. The agency should have a client list or references that can be checked to determine agency's credibility with industry. Membership in various communities and industry-related organizations demonstrates that a company is active in the marketplace and is up to date on all latest developments and trends. A good agency should do a presentation and explain how it will communicate with their clients. The fundamentals of recruitment process are implementation of HRIS or HRMS, designed to assist an organization in human resources management needs. The system keeps important information about applicants and employees that can be retrieved and used to facilitate employment planning decision. The HRIS can be used to help an organization to make SWOT analysis, track EEO data, precede human resource planning, support compensation and benefits program, and link to corporate payroll. HRIS can initiate a separate management inventory report, known as a replacement chart, that can be used in succession planning. Every day I received from 50 to 60 CV and it would take not less than 30 minutes to reply, register, and store each CV, presuming that not more than 18 or 20 CV can be processed daily. Good software solution could expedite the process. There are many software providers are available in the UAE, which develop recruitment software and provide direct modem support during warranty period or under a maintenance contract. Easeware Technologies is one of them, a fast-growing organization engaged in software development in Gulf region. Easeware offers proven solution by focusing on reuse of the existing design and code. This reuse gives to the solution greater flexibility, improved performance, and faster delivery with reasonable budget. The other major software suppliers that are developing software recruitment programs, tailored to an organization's needs are Forrester, PublicSoft, and Focus. For the recruitment and selection of right candidates at the management level, it is advisable to develop psychometric testing and analysis, employing variety of tests. It is recommended to prepare tests for prospective employees during follow-up interviews, to improve the efficiency of recruitment. There are hundreds of tests that can be served as selection tools. They can measure intellect, spatial ability, perception skills, mechanical comprehension, motor ability, or personality traits. Companies rely on intelligence, attitude, ability, and interest tests to improve the efficiency of selection process. Performance simulation tests require an applicant to engage in specific behaviors necessary for doing the job successfully. Work sampling tests create a miniature replica of a job. Applicants demonstrate that they possess the necessary talents by doing the tasks. As a recruiter, I always used this test to employ draftsmen and architects. Psychometric tests aim to measure attributes like intelligence, aptitude, and personality, how well a candidate works with other people, handles stress, and whether he or she will be able to cope with the intellectual demands of the job. Most of established psychometric tests, used in recruitment and selection, make no attempt to analyze emotional or psychological stability, and to measure integrity or honesty and predisposition to anger. These tests are essential for top management and supervising position. Problem-solving test, PST, can be a 65 minutes test, with 50 questions and optional answers. It can have assignments for text analysis, charts, graphics, tables, and mathematical exercises. The test helps recruiters to identify applicants' problem-solving skills with a time frame, the level of logical skills, decision-making skills, and the ability to work in a team. Verbal Management and Graduate, VMG, test measures the ability for logical analysis of textual information. The test is designed for managers and help to identify how the managers can evaluate statements from the texts. Numerical Management and Graduate, NMG, test helps to evaluate analytical ability for numerical information. A candidate is given several charts and tables and offered questions with optional answers. The test helps to identify mathematical skills and attentiveness. Occupational Personality Questionnaire, OPQ, test is designed to evaluate candidates' behavior in professional environment. Candidates are offered 4 different statements and have to select 2 most relevant and 2 least relevant to their behavior. These are 30 test scales grouped by such subjects as human resource management, task management, self-awareness management. David A. Wetton and Kim S. Cameron study identified 10 most often listed management skills, such as verbal communication including listening, managing time and stress, managing decisions, recognizing, defining and solving problems, motivating and influencing others, delegating, setting goals and articulating a vision, self-awareness, team building, and managing conflicts. David A. Wetton and Kim S. Cameron designed several tests and questionnaires that help to evaluate and select the right candidate. To evaluate candidates' competence, the PAMS, Personal Assessment of Management Skills, can be adopted. For candidates' evaluation of attitudes and behavior in working environment may help self-awareness assessment, SAA. To evaluate candidates' learning style, inventory test can be effective. David A. Wetton and Kim S. Cameron designed a number of questionnaires and tests that can identify candidates' attitudes toward changes, tolerance of ambiguity, locus of control, interpersonal orientation, stress management and time management skills, reaction to stress, emotional intelligence, problem-solving skills, ability to creative thinking, candidates' communication skills and communication style, influence and motivate others. The book has tests which can help to evaluate candidates' abilities to manage interpersonal conflict, build effective teams, and establish positive climate. Through a combination of the tests and questionnaires, recruiters can select the right applicant more precisely to meet jobs requirements and maximize the success of an interview.